So here we are, ladies and gents, in the 6th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Believe it or not, but when Season 1 was voted in about 4 years ago, I didn't really enjoy it at first, but it very quickly grew on me. I then amassed a JoJo fanbase on my Patreon and pushed through Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable and Golden Wind with huge numbers. Now I sit here, a massive fan, ready to dive into the 6th part, and I'm so happy to be here. Take a win for being JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo stance! Also though, kawaii. It's a small thing, but weather effects in JoJo have always greatly impressed me since Diamond is Unbreakable. They beautifully mix both CGI and hand animation to amazing results. Also, shout out here to the voice actress. I don't know her from much, but I do know that it was her dream to voice this character. She's been a fan of the manga for many years, and so I'm glad she got to live her dream. The colour of her tattoo has already changed. It's a world famous JoJo colour palette change. I just love how this is how part 6 begins, with her ending up in jail and caught doing the nasty. Also, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the following videos on JoJo, and please consider leaving a like and a comment to help your boy out. Greatly appreciated. JoJo reference! Loads of not walking on the spot because David Productions is full of legends! If the rules are similar to the UK, where, fun fact, I was a prison officer for 11 years, that's absolutely right that an unsentenced person doesn't have to wear prison clothing. If that's true for the US, that's a nice addition. I spoke about this during Welcome to Demon School in Rumakun, that I obviously, like everyone, adore hand animation, and that whilst winning Summer Spider So What's second half, I was a little put off by the CGI. So here is a win for JoJo's excellent and unique animation in general. There's nothing quite like it, my eyes love it. It's Jotaro! Wait, what?! Beautiful seeing a shot of a prison during the day. Having this sign be written in proper English. Dedication! On top of being funny, this scene and their interaction already does an excellent job of starting to build both of their characters. Bruh, that's 100% alright, isn't it? You've been wanting it, you've been waiting for it, I'm about to give it over to your ear holes, yet another Stundor! That's right, JoJo is the origin of that win, and phrase coming from how they say Stundor, and sometimes I think probably Stundor! So now you know in case you didn't, and take that win, Stundor! God, I'm so impressed by the level of detail on that one shot of her hand. That's incredible, probably took ages to make that. This is so awesome! Not gonna show it as well, but he lost an ear! Not only is this scene an excellent demonstration of her voice acting abilities, but on top of that, it also serves to showcase her character's morals, and even though she makes the wrong decision based on what she thought was love, it still does its job. Really nice touch having a dent on the roof of the car too.
当法廷は被告ジョリーン空城を15年間州立グリーンドルフィンストリート重警備刑務所にて収容するものと確定する。
Genuinely unexpected plot twist.
私の青春が15年
Very short scene to just show, I guess, the stand's limitations, since it breaks when attempting to remove the cuff. That was my understanding anyway. YouTube would destroy me if I showed this scene, but oh my word, she's amazing. That's all I'm saying. The aftermath is a right mess, but that was sick and awesome.
これほんと面白い
Two final wins here. The first one is for this age-old classic to be continued. They've been using that since part 1, extremely happy to see consistency like this. Second win is for the fact that they skipped both the OP and the ED this episode to give us as much content as possible within the episode. Always appreciated by me. As around 2,000 or so of you may have seen, judging by the likes on my comment on the official OP Warner Bros. Japan put out, I really do love the animation style in this OP, and the style of it in general. The song is a banger, no getting around that, and I think it's amazing how they kept that consistency going, mentioned in win number 28, by having CGI in the OP, some lovely hand animation too, wild and wonderful editing, and a bright and vibrant colour palette, and finally the end, showing a little bit from each season, such as the vampire mask from part 1, and the arrow from part 4.
この刑務所はこの国の概念と同じく自由と平等を重んじます。皆さんは自由に所定の敷地内を歩いたり
So 2 wins here. First one is for the incredibly detailed looking map, just laying out the prison for us. Second win is for the rules being very similar again to the prisons I worked at. Like, clearly some level of research was done on the basics, and that's great to me. Then as far as the story goes, you can just go wild with it.
すげえ広い。島全部が刑務所かよ。
Yet another scenery shot of the prison which probably took ages to put together.
本日の失望時間は終了した。朝の解剖は6時半。
Kawaii!
でもいろんなことがありすぎて食欲がないのよ
Emergency out of nowhere plot twist! Take cover!
何よごめんなさいね昨日の夜は
Unexpected!
これは
Ugh, this anime, like all JoJo anime, just oozes style and substance, and just like prior seasons, I'm happy to be witnessing enough plot twists to twist the plot into a sailing knot. That was, I actually almost rhymed.
よしよしよしよしよしよしよしいい子だよピーちゃん
Being nice to weird looking and drawing probably not real actual animals is always a win. Can't show it since there was loads of arms and legs and stuff that fell out of the bird, but another unique stun door! Oh dear lord, what an amazing plot twist done in classic JoJo style. Not only that, but we get a colour palette change in time for the new stand having taken effect. I love this anime, I love JoJo, it's so good! Take a maximum 2 wins for that. Oh, how I missed these little segments!
インコの中に入ってた人間ははい喋るなって言ってんだな切ろ
This is stupidly well done. The only other anime that handles the size difference equally as well has to be Attack on Titan. That's brilliant and wacky.
さあ鍛えるわよ走って走って走って走ってもたもたしない持ち上げるのよチョロキチュ
This is so random! As far as creativity goes, this part continues the process of knocking it out the park. Even if you just focus on the angles and shots used to display a situation, it's fantastic. And on top of that, it's nicely animated too. Loads of frames in each big movement and oh so smooth.
大きくなってる 私の体が。
コーヒーが沸いてるぞ。その音じゃないのか。確かに聞こえたぞ。近くに何かいる。どうしただ。おい、そこどけ。どけってば。俺だからコーヒーの沸いた音だってばよ。
I swear, right, JoJo is the only anime that ever makes me feel like this. So anxious. The stories are so expertly built up time after time to build tension. It's unbelievable how many times he's successfully done it. And by the way, this is exactly the kind of situation I'm always talking about in other anime. It's a JoJo, how they gonna pull it out of the bag situation, where it looks hopeless and yet they find a way. This thing is creepy, and goodness me, look at how well the size is handled in moments like this. This is what I was referring to at win number 45.
待てって。私のグーグードールズをそんなに締め付けないでくれ。
Definitely gets a win for the first full-on representation of her actual stand. Cool looking dude that he is.
ガンシさん、大変だ。ガンポイントを超えてるやつがいるぞ。早く来いよ。
お前そこで何をやっている。
How does he come up with these stories and twists?
やれやれだわ、グース。
She said the thing her dad says. This is not a drill. La la la, like her dad. Also, though, she got out of yet another impossible situation. That's like 3 times in 5 minutes. It's insane. Off to the mental asylum with you, I say. Utterly beautiful ED right there. I've never heard that song before, but it was lovely and it matched the visuals so perfectly. It's incredible. Just made me feel so relaxed after watching an action-packed episode. Unreal.
固まれば強くなる。しかし逆に届くのは2メートル程度。
Amazing how well they mix up hand animation here with CGI. Like, it's almost seamless.
あんたこそ今並んでなかった。
バカ、新入りか？ここの電話はすべて予約制だ。
電話したい。声を聞きたい。ママの声を。
Showing a really nice to see emotional side to her character whilst also displaying the cruelty of prison life to an outsider.
部屋に戻ったのに、あんたのところに戻ってくるつもりはないみたいだ。本当、あんたのために忠告しているんだ。
Take a win here for character designs. I never really gave it much thought before, but they do look so very unique each season. It's amazing the amount of detail and creativity that goes into them all.
戻ったんでしょ？今ある。うるせえぞグダグダと！
Unbelievable, changing up the colour palette for that brief moment. No one else does this as far as I can remember. Like, there's art style changes in plenty of anime, but a complete palette change?
返す？それは後でなんでしょ？買う！売ってくれ！10ドル出す！売った！ね！
Oh, that's so ridiculously clever.
次にトイレ入りなよ。もう一人、トイレを欲しがるやつが出る。たかられてた金を取り戻せるかどうかは、あんた次第だけどね。
Fantastic that now on multiple occasions within the first 3 episodes, they've taken the time to flesh out her morals, but also showing so many different sides to her. It feels like there's loads more character building in this season early on compared to the others.
あなたに面会人が来る。でも会ってはいけない。絶対に面会室に行っちゃいけないんだ。
Vivi from Vivi Fluorite Ice Song.
面会をやめて部屋に帰って。まだ間に合うよ。
I don't understand. Someone help me. This kid in a bin. He needs to be saved. Also, it's Vivi. Go do yourself a favor and watch Vivi. It's an unreal anime. And then watch my video. Help!
Jolene, 母さんに預けておいたペンダントは受け取ったか？
Okay, so firstly, everything this guy voices always gets a win. Right now he's in Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, which by the way is absolutely brilliant, and I'm currently winning that, so take a win. Secondly, it's Jotaro. I love this dude. I have such a big smile on my face writing this. It feels like I went back in time and saw Stardust Crusaders again for the first time. I'm so happy right now. In fact, they can have an extremely rare 2 wins for this moment. It just means a lot to me.
あなた、自分の娘がこんなことになってるのに明日に伸ばしてる。それでも父親。
Just a simple little scene to showcase why she feels the way she does towards her father. Nothing too overt, just keeping it nice and neat and tidy.
これで私は当分懲罰貿易だ。お前と知ってたらここには。
God, I cannot tell you how much I love the fact that he didn't budge or do anything after she did this. He's always been so damn cool!
起きろって。
やれやれだ。
He said the thing!
全てはこの男が仕組んだものだ。あの交通事故も。
Rotate and shot like it's no big deal whatsoever.
ジョンガリエの手下が無関係のヒッチハイカーを拉致し、車の前に投げ込んだ。
こいつは何のために私を刑務所に入れたと聞いているんだ。
いいか、ジョンガリエの狙いはお前だ。
だからなんで。
お前と俺の血が繋がっているからだ。ジョースターの血が。
This whole scene starting to build the actual overarching story of the season, adding a little splash of mystery to the already amazing smelling dish that is this past 3 episodes.
いつの間に銘柄が違う。そもそも監修は机に近づきもしなかった。
Ah, yeah, it's happening, boys and gals. Something is happening, and it's gonna include Jotaro. Let's go!
スタープラチナザワールド時を止まる
He used the Wilder! Another example of beautifully mixing both CGI and animation to excellent effect.
細かな部品にすればどんなものにも仕込める。面会に来る部下が看守に賄賂を渡せば調べもせず中に持ち込めるだろう。
Instead of making it a stand ability, they give a legit reason as to how he's using an actual gun, or at the very least, actual bullets in there. Just shows how laziness doesn't appeal to Araki. There's always more to it, or never quite what you think it might end up being.
どうやって実弾を男子艦からここへ。
問題はそこだ。ジョリーン、さっきお前が助かったのは幸運であり偶然だ。
Not gonna lie, absolutely thrilled to see these two working together, just like Jotaro and Josuke during part 4. I don't like seeing Jotaro getting hurt! Scenery shots are naturally going to be rare inside of a prison, but boy oh boy, that isn't stopping David Productions from gifting our eyeballs multiple lovely shots! Sticking to realism by having the weapon be hidden like this. Again, corners could have been easily cut, leading to potential open plot holes, but this nicely avoids it. Dedication!
娘空城ジョリーンに会うために今あのジョースターの血を引く者が
I've been so intently listening to everything this guy had to say that I totally forgot to say Gauche from Black Clover and bring Goku from Demon Slayer. Oh my!
今だ。ドンフリー。
違う待てよく見ろ
Seeing Jolene begin to listen to Jotaro, understanding that he's clearly done this before and has a lot to teach if she wants to survive this encounter.
僕の言ったことを忘れないで。お姉ちゃんには生き延びてほしい。
Ah, there's so many intriguing mysteries to reveal.
面会室だ面会室で火災警報が鳴っている室内にカメラがないから
Nicely avoiding a sin on the anime sins version by having guards respond to the fire alarm and note out loud how there's no cameras in that area.
おい貴様勝手に面会室から出るなこっちは刑務所側だやれやれだ
Yup, literally cannot explain how much I love him and his stand ability. I mean, seriously, how outrageously awesome is it that he just did that?
あの子を撃つことは。パイプがどうしてどこから。
何
このパイプ折っといてよかったわ。
It's this element that I have a hard time describing. It's how it looks like either there's no way they'll win or that they've been taken out like right here. Yet there's always a reason, a tactic used, or a stand ability that makes sense of it. This is probably like the 80th time? I mean, the creativity is off the charts. Absolutely friggin' badass!
奴がいる。あそこよ。移動している。隠れて。ライフルを持っている。
こんな短時間にどうやってここまで来るというんだ。
知るか。いるって言ったらいるんだよ。
分かった。信じよう。そして備えろ。
Alright, you know what? That was so good it's getting a maximum 2 wins award. Firstly, because he was so damn cool about it, no stress or hesitation or anything. And secondly, because it just looked great and was itself great.
秘密の通路なんてものは知らない。
てめえ、こんな時に私をからかってんのか。お前がここにいるのは秘密の通路を来たから。
Yet another plot twist to die? Are you kidding me?
傷。撃たれた傷はどうしたの?
You know what? Take a win here for evolving the style of the anime too. Like in previous seasons, wounds that healed themselves later during the same episode or the next were commonplace. But here, they're now explaining it away. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this really, does it? Absolutely outstanding is all I can say. It's probably one of the most unexpected plot twists for me, and it gets the anime 2 max wins. Bloody brilliant.
私、夢を親父から見せられた。ヒッチハイカーの自動車事故。手錠がないことに気づいて、私たちは一歩も面会室から出ていない。この能力が現実のジョンガリへの攻撃。
Credit to her as well for piecing this all together step by step rather than reacting violently to the situation unprepared. It says a lot about her character that she uses her head like this, much like her father and grandfather would have under similar circumstances, and oh my goodness, I love that determination at the end of the episode, again just like her family.
今お前何と言った？スタープラチナと言ったか？スタンドの名をなぜジョリーンお前が知っている？
I mean, I can't take many more twists. I've always praised JoJo twists, but they've never been this intricate and this numerous. How is it even possible that he upped his game from all the previous parts? How is it possible that he gets better and better at telling his story?
辻褄が合わない。これは現実ではない。
Ah, now I get it! She woke him up! This is freaking nuts!
これで面会室から出よう。
Oh man, he smacked his daughter, but had to, obviously. But goodness me, that was so brilliant. For me, it's even better that Jotaro solved the situation too, since I know he won't be in the anime much this time either, sadly. I'm just glad my boy got his time in the sun once more, basically.
どうするのよ。これであんたも重刑犯罪者の仲間入りね。
最初に言ったはずだ。お前をここから出すと。
Honestly, I didn't see the story going this way, but I'm utterly overjoyed at the notion of more Jotaro in the episode and coming episodes, and that he's in there with her.
俺はスピードワゴン財団という団体とちょっとした付き合いがあってな。彼らが手配してくれている。
The Speedwagon Foundation! Mentioning a guy from the first part and his foundation from a later part is a massive fat win and a showcasing of one of my favourite elements that make up JoJo, that being its long-running story over the course of way over 100 years.
ゆっかり。ありがとう。でも捕まらなくても一人で立てるから。
そうじゃない。大切なものだと言ったろ。お前が持つんだ。トラ。
娘がこんなことになってるのに、それでも父親。相変わらずだな。何事も冷静で論理的に考えてる。そうだよな。私別に無事でいるもんね。
So the first win here is for the fact that her character hasn't miraculously changed all of a sudden. There's no microwaving of her personality, she's dealing with issues and they haven't disappeared due to the escape attempt. Second win is because the story is so tense, its pacing is godlike, and it's making me feel like I'm unable to breathe and catch a breath, and in many ways it's fantastic that he chose to write her character arc with Jotaro and their issues into this part of the story, being hunted and never knowing what's real and what's not.
これは
Oh my god, this is too good!
準備されていたのだ。俺が娘をかばい、選択の余地なく絶対に時を止める。この瞬間のために目的はこの俺だった。
Basically, I've been depressed this entire last minute and 5 seconds, deeply worried that this might actually now genuinely be the end of him. I don't like it. It's horrible. Another genuinely unique stand-or.
そしてさっき話したスピードワゴン財団が潜水艇を見つけてくれる。お前のことはいつだって大切に思っていた。
I hate this. He's talking a game like he's going to go after them alone, but it absolutely feels like a goodbye to me, and even the way he's speaking is like he knows it's over.
あれは一体まさかスタンド。
何？これはくらえ。
She's getting better at using her stand. Look at her go.
あれは一体まさかスタンド。
Also though, that freaky looking thing can actually remove stand abilities from people. This adds an entirely new dynamic to the story.
別に捨てろとは言ってないわ。角度を見ていただけだもの。
She's just straight up showing off with her abilities now, and I'm sure they'll only grow more and more powerful.
ジョースターの
Ula, ula, ula!
ジョリーン、あの時あの夢の中でお前は刑務所に残ると言った。どこの誰かもわからないこのだが
I like to think in this moment he told her he was proud of her for doing that.
もう大丈夫。
That horrible visual, the clearest representation that he's not alive any longer, and her gut-wrenching scream of anger. Yeah, brilliant performance. I don't think I've been this devastated since his father temporarily died after fighting Dio, but this time, I know it's really the end.
てめえ待て撃つな両手を上げているでも撃つんじゃない丸腰だ
This being a realistic reaction to someone unarmed and surrendering.
もしかしてお姉ちゃんは取り戻そうとしているのか。そうすればお父さんは生き返るとでも。そのために中に戻るのよ。
I kind of wish they wouldn't give me hope like this, with her saying that she's sure that if she gets his stand back, that he'll come back to life. Like I wish it with every single fibre of my being, but something tells me it cannot be done, especially when he's been gone for so long. Such a sad episode, such an amazing episode.
看守殺しの罪もお前一人の仕業だ。これで全て丸く収まる。その通りだ。ここにそれがある。
Take a final win for the episode here. Not going to show him being taken out, but we get a proper look at the enemy stand. The discs containing Star Platinum and Jotaro, and they gift us this content by cutting out the ED.
ジョリーンお姉ちゃんもその彼女にはすでに会っている。
I'm enjoying hearing the story coming from another perspective, since she's now locked up in what we used to call the segregation unit.
おいちょっと待てこら
Also though, take a win for the continued realism, placing her inside the infirmary after taking a beating at the hands of the guards.
さっき私の靴が
You know, these are my favourite moments, either where the Stand's abilities are slowly revealed in a calm way like this, or during an initially confusing battle, but I just like seeing the new Stand at work, how it's so confusing at the start, and by the end of it, was super familiar with it.
そして受け入れたら結構便利だったりして。
Check out my girl already learning how to use her brand new and unique stun door like a real pro!
Huh? これは
私に協力してくれないか仲間としてマックイーン
And just like I mentioned during win number 119, this is the other version of that, where it's tense and likely soon leading into a battle and we have no idea how the stand works.
でも
忘れちまったよ。
大丈夫かあんた。
今大丈夫かって言った？
I'm so very confused and intrigued at the same time.
何やってんだてめえ。
What is even going on? Unexpected change to ad segment. Gotta be careful what I show, but what a disgustingly great use of her stand ability to survive right there. I tell you, the creativity is out of this world.
でも大丈夫。もうやらないよ。目が覚めたよ。あんたには命を救ってもらった恩がある。
恩返しってそんなさ、別にいいけど。
This is absolutely the weirdest JoJo battle of all time in my eyes. I'm deeply confused, I don't yet get it, it must be stopped. She broke her own nose in order to continue breathing. I mean, this is so clever, I could never come up with stuff like this.
ジョリーンとあいつの身に何が。
僕とお姉ちゃんの敵は
I gotta say, I so missed these random JoJo poses and stances.
僕はこの先に進めない。今階段の上は囚人たちが多すぎる。
She's spurting red stuff all over the place, so I gotta be sensible, but have a win for this kid's character. He's a sweetheart and really helpful, and in this episode, he's really coming into his own.
俺のアパートは10階さ。そしたらちょうど11階から飛び降り自殺した女が。みんなはこの俺が11階の女を狙って撃ち殺したって。
That's insane, dude! How did he come up with stories like that?
お前パンティーもらったことある？女の子からパンティーもらったらそれはラッキーって思わない？
本当にくれるの？
This dude has his priorities straight.
あんた、この俺に勇気を与えるようなうまいこと言ってるけど、本当は自分が助かりたいからそんな綺麗事を喋ってるだけだろ。
Even after that funny moment, bringing the story and its realism immediately back into play is such a nice touch.
こいつ邪悪だ。正真正銘の腐った邪悪の少年の持ち主。
Beautiful looking art style change right there. It's gorgeous how they do that. I mean, look at her hair in this shot.
くしょー。今のショックで思い出した。こいつ金を確かどっかに隠してたっけな。$5000。
As you know, this scene is a mess, but take a win for how she won the battle. But this disc is all I can get away with.
あのお姉ちゃんがマックイーンって男に記憶のディスクを一度戻した時再生したんだ。
Don't taunt me with notions like that, man. I'm so happy, but at the same time, I'm really hesitant to actually believe that. But take a win for even putting the hope out there. Extremely rare seeing you a shot of an entirely different location.
早く止めろ！トラクターのタイヤの交換をしようとしただけなんだ。早く外に出ろ！扉を閉じるんだ。
When you've got great animation, that's awesome. But my goodness, when you use that animation like here to show his muscles bulging as he's desperately putting everything he has into closing this heavy door, that's epic. But then you add truly outstanding voice acting and you create a scene like this. Brilliant, even in its simplicity for what it brings across to the viewer. For me, that being tension and anxiety. I can't take many more genuinely unique standards!
でもシャーロットちゃん、一体これは何の騒ぎなんだい？
It's a small win, but I always appreciate consistency from different angles, such as all these ladies stood in the same order from different shots. Very easy to make mistakes like that.
そのブレスレット型手錠を外そうとして衝撃を加えたり、もしくは破壊したら直ちに爆発する。
Even though obviously this strays from realism, which I'm okay with, I mean it's JoJo in the end of the day, it's still good to find a way to add rules to their new situation and adding tension, since clearly that'll come into play very soon.
よーし、ここから分かれて捜索開始だ。
Oh, I adore all of these scenic shots. They look so nice. It must have taken forever to create. I love showing the animators some appreciation for their stuff.
君のだよ。君のスタンド能力だ。
農場で使っているトラクターのタイヤ？
それが奴の目的。奴はいろんなスタンド使いからスタンドと記憶を奪いコレクションしていたのよ。
Learning more about Whitesnake's goals, although far too little is known right now for anything to be definitive, but regardless to say it's incredibly interesting would be an understatement at this point. This is like the 5th time this has happened and I've not winned it, so take one here for this classic text, which I know is obviously adapted from the manga pages. Just so stylish. Such a weird and specific use of her abilities.
In
classic JoJo style, they get seconds away from achieving their goal and then this happens. It's brutal, man, it hurts!
出発するとき5人でいいでしょうって言ったんだ。6人いるんだよ。
Yet another mind-blowingly epic mystery order!
最初は5人だったはずって、そう思うんだろ？いつ誰が増えたかわかる？
別に思い違いかも。
Killua from Hunter x Hunter!
音が鳴り続けるってことは監視の体がどんどん私たちから離れていってるってことで。
I can't take much more of this. I'm so entangled and wrapped up and spun around and slapped upside the head that I can't tell which way is up or down anymore. These are the best plot twists I've ever seen. I'm saying it now. You have got to be kidding me! This is outrageous!
バケツの中には何もいなかったんじゃない。よく見なかっただけで。
The best CGI is where you honestly cannot tell it apart from hand animation, and that's the case here.
ジョリー、入るな！水の中はやばい！増えてるんだ！水から出ろ！もう追いつけない！このスタンドの策略だった！
Jolene proving her character once again by ignoring her shouts to flee and coming closer to the danger in order to save her new friend, just like her father would have done and her grandfather before him too. What an incredible looking but also use of her stand, but animated so smoothly too. Extra frames for everyone.
体から糸を大量に出していなかったらやられていた。こいつのパワー。
銅が空洞に。
陸には来ない。
They can have another win here for having the story take place in this location, since it's allowed for so many different environments to be included.
話出してるわね。あれ？エルメス、さっき敵スタンドを殴った時、よろめいたやつがいた。
下がれてめえ！水辺から離れろ！見ろよ！そいつだって血が出てるぜ！
Moments like this are the best, like a Mexican standoff. They've done this a few times over the entire series and it's always epic and confusing till the conclusion is reached.
かさ、あんたらだって十分怪しい。
ジョリー！
いや、実を言うと、さっぱり見当もつかないわ。だから、3人ともぶちのめす！
Yes! Am I right or am I wrong in thinking that this is exactly how her father would have approached this situation?
貴様、このメス豚が！別々にしてよ。水の中で始末しようと思ったが。こいつがよ、糸のような能力を持っていて。 トラクターに近づいたから始末して。
It was all three of them! You've outdone yourself again, Araki!
本体はこいつ自身。こいつは生き物だ。ディスクで能力を与えられた水の中で生まれた生き物。
This thoroughly deserves a win as well in my eyes because the main antagonist of every part has always had really interesting and powerful abilities, and this one is no different. Issuing out stands at will and taking souls, it's crazy powerful.
終わりだチョリー。もうディスクは諦めよう。私たちの最優先は看守の体を守ることだ。手錠が爆破してしまうぞ。
Oh, what's that? Not tense enough for you? Not enough blood being pumped around your body due to what's happening on screen? Allow me to fix that for you by introducing another JoJo how they're gonna pull out of the bag situation.
自分の腕をよ、もう一本増やすような真似は一定だろうな。
I feel so dumb sometimes, bruh. I've been watching JoJo for years now, and yet time after time I find myself going, how are they gonna manage this? Or how are they gonna possibly win now? And yet time after time I'm like, oh, that's how. I mean, am I dumb, or are you guys and girls like this too? Let me know down below. Take a win here for all of the voice actors. I've been shouting them out as I come across them and also giving props for belting out pipes like when Jotaro left us, but as a whole, it's been incredibly impressive. And then take another one here for her winning the battle in style. Funny enough, great voice acting, just like I mentioned in the previous win, and the animation was lovely too. I'm so on edge. This quick attack for me is like conjoined to my emotions. I want it over as fast as humanly possible, and purely so she can grab the disc. Oh, you're good, you are. Guess what? Never saw that coming. You go, girl, I'm getting hyped!
私の父のディスクを取り戻したいだけ。そしてホワイトスネークの目的が知りたいだけ。どう？力を貸してくれない？
お前の気持ち、なんだかよく理解できないが、もう戦う気がしない。
Adding another ally to her cause, a unique ally no less, since it's maybe an alien or something, and once more her character shows its similarities to her predecessors, knowing when to destroy and when to hold back. I did miss these little segments going over the results of a battle or a demise and so on, and I'm kind of noting in my head how Jotaro didn't have one coming up. My hopes are getting higher. My hopes have risen again already. Not expected. I thought it'd be a dud, but they really found it. So random.
奴があんたの父親から本当に奪いたかったものは強くて無敵のスタンドなんかではなく記憶の方なんだよ。
Amazingly spreading out the story and the prior mystery by adding a new factor to it. He wasn't interested in the stand, but instead his memory. That pacing is excellent. The reveal's delicately timed. Really impressive.
次に私がやることは何とかしてこのディスクを刑務所の外へ父を保護している財団に渡すこと。
Letting us know that she did actually hand him over, off-screen as it were, to the Speedwagon Foundation for treatment.
俺の体をちょっと巨乳にしてさ。どう？
Yes.
それほどまでに行方不明の囚人のことが心配ですか？プッチ神父。
私は日曜の礼拝まで泊まり込みの宿直ですから。
Two big wins. Firstly, it's for seeing the big villain of the arc. Take that win, you sassy boy. Second win is for Itaru from Steins Gate and Panda from Jujutsu Kaisen. Look at these effects at play in this room. Floating dust caught in the streaming light from the sun through the window. These little touches just add a semblance of reality. Also though, he straight up messes up this woman and turns her into a stand user. Oh, that was so gross! She like dislocated her jaw or something!
3メートル以上10秒以内。 始まったぞ。よーし。
This really wouldn't be an episode of JoJo if the stakes didn't get really tense over a fairly minor looking initial situation. I mean, they're playing catch, but I legit feel like I'm watching Jack Bauer defuse a nuke, you feel me?
いいからコップから離れろ。わかったわ。あと5秒。FF、ボールを投げた。
Now hold up a moment. I could barely handle bloody 13 throws. Another 100? My little old heart isn't going to manage that. You take joy in consistently making me feel incredibly stressed out.
貴様、私の水に近づいてんじゃねえ。あぶねえ。1秒。バカ。あぶねえ。でもやったぞ。もう100回は続かない方に1000ドル。マジか。てめえ持ってんだろうな。もちろん。賭けを続けたいんなら他は私がやるぜ。グッと。FF、ボールとグローブをくれ。
Credit to Jolene here, she knew when to stop. She's been sus this entire time. She's grown on me as a person immensely in such a short amount of time due to excellent writing, voice acting and character building. Hats off to the animators for the pacing and piecing it all together, and of course the mangaka for starting it all.
よし、次で33。
お前らさっさと道具を片付けろ。
I didn't consider this turn of events, also known as a flipping plot twist!
だが100ドルポンチじゃあよ。ボール代だけだな。
こういう時のためによ、貼っておいたぜシールを。
This is stupidly ridiculous. You need to quit it with this. It's too good. It hurts. They're always using the stands in the most exciting of ways every single time you think it's all over. It's madness at this point. Can't show it, but she stole the Jubblies money she had stored in the chesticles. And then coming back to this in 30 seconds time, it takes her liver. My jaw is slack. I have no words. I'm shocked.
私はエルメスの心の影。お前らに私を攻撃することはできない。
This also deserves a win for reminding us that there are multiple different types of stands out there. Like, this one kind of reminds me of one we saw in Diamond is Unbreakable that was also to do with money, I think. It's really interesting.
キャッチボール1000回。私が勝ったら、彼女から取ったものを全て元に戻せ。
Honestly, I'm really pleasantly surprised at the level of effort that's gone into Jolene as a character, especially in terms of how she is a Joestar. This is probably like the 8th overt example pointing her true self in one direction, and that direction is her being a badass, a good person, a great friend, and much more.
しまった。ボールが行く。
これより受刑者は全員各員の棒に戻り、点呼の確認のため。
Managing to constantly raise both the tension and the stakes like it's no big deal.
ここはエレベーターだ。
Emergency plot twist! Grab your weapons, men! We're heading over the top of the trench!
ボールだ。投げろ。
Ah, it's too close! It's too much!
こいつが初めから身につけていたというわけか。勝った。キャッチボールは終わっていない。
The best JoJo how they're going to pull out the bag situation of part 6 thus far. Blown away!
センキューだ。
Such a good ending to the battle! Classic Aura sequence, cutting out the devastating final blow for clear reasons, and then this feel-good stylish end which makes you punch your damn fist into the air!
てめえイカれてんのか。黒にしていじめてよ。椅子に座って話すとよ、疲れねえぜ。飲み物もサービスしとくぜ。
Jolene now having learned the rules of the prison and slowly becoming the top dog of the place in much the same fashion as Giorno did in part 5 for the gang.
空城城太郎博士の体は潜水艇回収の後、ここダラスではありませんが、ある場所で安全に保護された状態になっております。
Yep. Yeah, go on. You're getting 2 wins for this. You gave me hope and I was actively apprehensive, then you gave me more and I felt a glimmer of hope, and now I'm bursting at the seams. It's 2 wins worthy all day long. I'm absolutely beaming right now, you have no idea.
それを覚悟で中庭に来られますか？
わかったわ。行くわ。で、受け渡しの方法は？
This music's so reminiscent of previous parts where a legendary moment is occurring, in this case filled with risk.
まずあのゲートを通過し、奥の階段を上がって、2階の渡り廊下で。
Using this elegant and detailed map as a way to inform us, the viewer, of her mission and more importantly, how far she's got to go to get to her goal.
はい、ボールに触らないで。
Ah, that is so good! Excellent sound effects too, got me feeling slight vibes of Dio's original Zawaldo sound effects!
本当はベッドで眠りたいんだけど、この部屋にベッドはないんだ。仕方なく彼はいつもピアノの中で寝てる。
What a genuinely outstanding twist in the story. It feels like I can have a breather randomly, like the stress is wearing off of this place all of a sudden. It's like I entered a save room in Resident Evil or something. And there's new characters to boot. I like this kid, I love the storyline, and this room is nice!
それが僕のスタンド能力。でも、あくまでも使えるだけ。
Oh, he's so adorable! Look at him put his little glove down!
スタンド名もウェザーリポート。
Yet another absolutely new and unique standard Amalama!
知ってれば中庭で待ち伏せすれば済むことだからね。だから奴は今僕らを追ってきている。
That's really creepy.
これは
That's my line, Jolene! That's my line!
なんだって
This is one of those times where all I can do is describe myself in real life, and it was a clenched right fist up against my forehead with gritted teeth. The face of pure panic, I'd wager. Colour palette change and a rescue is on the way, and it was a new clever use of her stand.
空城ジョリーン、死ぬのはあの女一人だけでいいと思ったんだがな。
Also though, Ranga from Tensura, what a good boy!
飛ばしたのは
今その抵抗で敵の発射したものを跳ね飛ばした。
ジャンクジャックフラッシュレーザーリポート。
This guy being a badass. It's just nice that our heroes always end up with friends, and this is a great start to his character in my mind, especially rushing to her rescue in furious, speedy style like he did.
余計な好奇心でもう一つ。その壁の時計は正確ですか？11時51分。
Giving a logical way for the main villain to find out at least what part of the plan is.
こんな状況でちょっと言いにくいんだけど、個人的なことなの。でも結構切羽詰まってかなり困っている。
My word, she's cute in moments like this. Not even gonna attempt to lie.
この部屋の残り少ない空気をとりあえず集めて体の周りを雲で囲んだだけだ。2分程度ってところか。瀕死の雲のスーツだ。
つまりあれは射程距離なのよ。撃墜する気だ。そうはさせない。ウェザーリポートは私がガードする。
Obviously due to David Productions making proper anime and animating with red blood, I'm limited, but safe to say, take a win for everything leading to this weather report astronaut equipment stuff. Anxiety levels were off the damn charts whilst they were both profusely bleeding into the room. Turned my stomach. Also though, you gotta give mad props for using stands to create such wild looking battles like this. It's so incredibly creative, I can't say much else. Jolene and her stand have come a huge way since the first episode, starting off very basic, being able to hear things from a distance, to now using it in combat in such a fashion as this.
される。しかもその推進力だけで空気がなくなる。
ものすごく決断の早い女だ。分かっているさ。お前のスタンドは強力。俺の回転弾のスピードじゃ。
Listen to this, man. They knocked the music in this out of the park again. What a tune that is for this battle.
いつの間にてめえ。
ストーンフリー。
Her reversal here of the situation and the very first over-the-top NANI of the series.
久々に人をぶっ殺してというあの時の気持ちがよ。
It wouldn't be a proper multi-episode battle if the bad guy didn't also have a weird ace up his sleeve and even a nice little taste of background info for him too.
やるよ。奴からディスクを取り戻すだけなら十分使えるだろう。
Just like I mentioned in the previous episode, awesome bits like this serve to build an ally's character, and this tells me everything I need to know about him.
お前を私の方に吹き戻してくれてるぞ。
Her voice actress really nails this moment. Very proud of her, oddly enough, and another great win in the books for her.
中庭へ行ってスピードワゴン財団の誰かにディスクを渡す。それが私の今の人生の目的よ。
Also, for the final time, she gets a win for her loyalty to family. She hated him, but after going through what she did alongside him, she's proven herself true to her blood. And like I said, just pure loyalty to family is driving her now to save her father.
男子館に戻るなら、ラングラー、一緒に礼拝堂に寄らないかね。少し話をしたい。
Biggest plot twist thus far. That she would run into the big bad boss of the entire part this early on, consider me shocked.
バレたか。いや、この私を敵と思うのなら、すでに攻撃してきているはず。
God, this is so tense and amazing! Annoyingly, he's in the know and she's not!
行かせるしかない。あのドラム缶の陰に誰かが潜んでいる。万が一のため、看守のやつに中庭を見張らせておいてよかった。
50% of the win is for making it make sense as to why he didn't attack her, backing up that cement truck and neatly filling in a potential plot hole, and the other 50% is for the twist.
その男は突然私に言った。
天国へ行く方法があるかもしれない。
Bruh, you got Dio in this anime. Of course you're getting a win. Just like Jotaro appearing in any other anime, you best believe Dio's appearance also constantly scores a win, so take that win for Dio.
天国へ行くことができればな。幸福とは。
It's worth pointing out here that in an age of some companies relying on CGI or simplistic animation, David Productions are here putting out works of art like this. I mean, just take a second to appreciate all the lines, shadows, and lighting that go into just this brief moment. This to me is true art.
焼却したのは空城ジョリーンの父、空城城太郎。城太郎はあの時、ノートの内容を読んだ。
Cannot explain the depths of joy I feel when they dive back in time like this. Seeing how he looked from part 3 again, back in Cairo, Dio's mansion with his friends and family from back then. Pure joy, man.
そして永遠に封印したのだ。天国を目指したディオブランドの生命とともに。
Also another one here for us finding out at long last the real reason why he's done everything to date. Luring his daughter there, taking out Jotaro, removing the discs, all to find out what Dio had written down all those years ago. Being careful again, but this utter legend, pulling it out the bag at the final possible moment to try and protect her in the mission. Guy is unreal.
監視、聞こえるか？私の声が。 命令する！こっちに入ってくるんだ！神父様！
It's like the dude from Robocop who fell in the acid!
67、71。
I am beyond thrilled witnessing him, the main villain, in such a precarious position. This is rare!
君の考えでは、私がこの扉を出て助けを呼んでくればすぐに手当てできる。
Using this music, which I think might be from either Stardust Crusaders or Diamond is Unbreakable. I've definitely heard it before and it fits the scene to a T.
キモいわ。落下してくるカエルの衝撃を和らげるように 生きてるカエルでネットを作った。
Well, that was the longest I've waited to find out how she managed to survive an encounter. That was pretty unbearable, and they gave a way in which she avoided their poison on her wounds by holding them away from her skin using her stand. Fly, birdie! Take that disc back to Jotaro. Part 1 of 2 of bringing him back to life, I very much hope. Shut up and take my extremely grateful win for this scene.
ホワイトスネーク、ゲートにさっきの監視の銃が落ちている。ハートを狙撃するのだ。
Even now, they make my heart hurt by not giving up. It's also realistic. He's a bad guy. Of course he's not going to just give up. But I love how it was actually empty.
まだよ。気を失うのはまだ本体が近くにいるはず。本体が誰か知るのは今がチャンス。
おい、窓の外を見てみろ。
しかし記憶のディスクを手に入れなくては丈太郎の心は戻らない。
One more win here for the end of the episode, focusing on her attempt to find out who White Snake's user is and the final message about her father, all but confirming for me that he absolutely can be brought back, and that's a win all day long.
スポーツマックス、君に頼みたいのはこの骨のことだ。我が親友ディオの骨。
Final end of episode, mysterious element just chucked in at the last moment. Have a final win here, ding, for creating such a masterpiece of a first part to this epic series. To say I was excited about jumping back into the world of JoJo is putting it extremely lightly. Above all, I was most happy with the consistency. Animation was exactly as it always had been, smooth and gorgeous, filled to the brim with lovingly crafted detail. The OP and ED were fantastic, the characters captivating, callbacks to previous seasons were included, but with more of a natural focus on the brilliant Jolene. So happy to be back covering this, and I hope you enjoyed the video and my passion in it. Please be sure to subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and share the video with anyone you think might enjoy it. You can also pledge on Patreon to pick new Anime Wins content for $4 a month if you fancy it, with extra rewards too. And of course, I'll see you in part 2 or in whatever video you choose to watch next. Nathan Bird, Bird Without a Word, Tyler Warner, Ali 50, Kawada Takashiro, Ted L, Isael Caldera, Mr. Waffle 64, Kieran Robinson, Chris Harris, Yona Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Steelers, Matthew Blanchett, Kim Munt, Manuel Morales, Conito, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Blitzcloud, Orekeeper, Kepper, Jeffer 6263, Magnus, Kevin Nelter, Brendan Krier, Kaj Vozelman, Sean Graves, The Epic Amanda, Galaxy Boss 22, Leaf Arn Hammer, Sentimento, Peyton 2000, Storm 970, Inakali Underwater, Your Ed Vincent.